Okay, so it is spring floral time in the Maker's Narrative. I have pulled out any shape cutters that resemble some type of floral-esque style. This is all I had in the florals. I have decided to go with my Moonshine colorway. So I know I did this in resin, but I recreated the colors using clay. That one there is just the normal, what's it called? Canary yellow. By the time I get to it, it's going to be finished. I will try and put some of the recipes in the description for you if I can remember what they are. But anyway, we're moonshining it today, and I just figured, why not? It looks like fun. It's a beautiful colorway. My slab is about 3 mil in thickness, just a little bit over, which is fine because I'm going to sort of free ball this one. Because I'm making such a small slab, I don't need to get too hung up on what it is, and I'm also going to use texture using this 40 grit sandpaper. So it's going to have a bit of a rug vibe, it's going to be a bit retro looking with the beautiful bright yellows and the deep purple and lavenders. So I think it's going to be fun. I mean, let's just do this. What are we doing first? Okay. Oh yeah, I decided I didn't like that color. I don't know why. It wasn't quite bright enough, I don't think. I think I added a little bit too much antique gold. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is flatten out these colors, and I'm going to do them as thin as possible. So we're looking at probably like less than 1 mil. Chuck them through the machine. Yes, they're going to have air bubbles, but it doesn't matter. I'm just going to cut around it because most of those colors have been made using scrap clay. So it's probably going to be that. Then I thought, well, I'm just going to punch out a whole lot of different shapes just to make it easier and have them right there for me. But in the end, I think I mostly just like cut as I needed. So anyway, we go through this whole process. I sped it up, don't worry. I absolutely love this color, and it matches the color from the Moonshine colorway so well. But I'm going to be really honest with you. It is a scrap mix, and I do not remember. I know I added a bit of yellow, then I added a bit of green, then I added a bit of this, and I added a bit of that. So it was a bit dicey. The other one, the purple, that's just mixed. That is just, blah, 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 blah. What is it? That is just grape mixed with purple pearl and white. So just to get a bit of a lilac-y color. And then I thought it would be quite fun to just like, you know, put a marble through it. Now, funny story, I actually put all these pieces on the slab and then forgot to record it. So I had to take them all off, which is why they all look like really weird, and then re-roll out my slab so that I could film me putting them on the slab. I don't think there's anything really here that I can teach you other than the fact that you're just obviously distributing your patterns, trying to make sure that you have a little bit of everything all over the slab. I really felt like I didn't have enough purple, so I mix up a little bit more purple from my scrap drawer just to add a couple more, a little bit more depth in the colors, and it totally works. Oh, also, I didn't film the first part where I used the sandpaper, but don't worry, we use it again soon in a minute. I just wanted to show you the first stage. So what I've done is I've used that as like the base. So I knew that it was going to be sort of a little bit, yeah, okay, we're using the micro cutters. Oh, it's just too fast. I was going to roll out all those little centers, and then I discovered my Blackbird and Violet micro cutters. You can get them from any supplier, but I love how Blackbird and Violet has the little container that they go in. Anyway, just cute. And so obviously you can see here, I'm adding the purples onto the greens, and I'm adding the yellows onto the purples, and I'm adding the greens onto the beiges, just to sort of make everything pop. So this is the second layer, which I'm also going to roll down using the sandpaper. This particular slab has 3 layers. I actually, when I looked at it like this, you'll see it in a minute when I do a little bit of a pan over it, I think. I really loved it with the raised details on it. And then I was like, okay, but I want to roll it down. So I rolled it down, and then I do another layer soon, which we're going to do in a minute. But I had so much fun just doing something totally different and outside of my comfort zone. I felt like I wasn't really, like on that first layer, I felt like the only bits that looked kind of floral were the ones that were actual flower shapes. See here? How cute is that? How cute is that? Anyway, I roll it down using the sandpaper again. That 40 grit is perfect as well. I used to use 80 grit, which was fine. It gives like a really soft finish, but this one really gets in there really deep. So I give it a quick roll first, and then I get my sandpaper and go over it in a second. Oh, okay. Here we go. There we go. Now I am putting a decent amount of pressure on there and then making sure that it's all over the slab, and those little bits around the edge, I get rid of those eventually. How good does that look? And I was a little bit like, oh, have I done the right thing? Like, I'm not sure whether I'm vibing this like all flat, which is why I decided this was going to actually be the last bit. This was going to be me finishing it. But I then decided, you know what? No, she needs another layer. She needs something else. She needs a bit more oomph. And because I loved how it looked before I rolled this down, I just wanted to add a little bit more detail. But how gorgeous is this though, even though like it looks fine exactly how it is, and it's totally cuttable exactly how it is. Cuttable? Is that even a word? I do grab my guides, I think, on the last one just to make sure that they are around the depth that I was after. Oh, there we go, yeah. So I still use them, but like, you know, when you're experienced, you can eye a lot of stuff now. Okay, she's got this. Yep, we're doing this. Now, you do have to be a little bit careful. If you use a really cheap brand of sandpaper, sometimes the sandpaper will come off onto your slab, and there are a few little bits in there. This sandpaper is just from Grant's work, actually, so I don't even know where it's from. Probably Bunnings. So you do have to be careful, but you can just cut around it. So don't get too stressed. Don't feel like you have to cut it out. You can just, you know, cut around it with your shape cutters. Anyway, what I was saying before, I felt like the flowers kind of didn't look like flowers until you cut out the centers. As soon as you cut out the center, that's what gives it more of a floral vibe. So I was doing the whole shapes in the first one, like in the first layer, and the second layer I sort of discovered the like cutting the holes out makes it look kind of fun, especially when you lay it over top of another color. It really lets the other color shine through. So I wanted to kind of fill the gaps with little round circles and dots and bits and pieces, and I'm just like digging it. So yeah, we just go in, I just keep adding colors until I feel like I'm happy with it, and I go on for quite a while. What I decided to do as well, although I wanted to keep it raised, I still wanted it to have a texture. So once I sort of finished putting all the bits and pieces on that I want, I went over gently with the texture. So I just rubbed it with my hand, and it sort of gives that, I don't know, it has that rug vibe. I love a good rug vibe to my earrings. So after that, I decided I'm just going to cut out some super simple shapes. Poppy's playing the drums in the background, by the way. Just so you know, this is where we're at. So I wanted to do just some nice, simple shapes. I went with a round, I went with an arch. I wanted to be able to get as much pattern as I possibly could on there. I went with I love a curved triangle. It's just really a vibe at the moment. And then a good statement stud as well. I made sure that I got some sort of floral element on there just to really, I stuffed this one up. Look, the edge is gone. That was really annoying because I love that shape. I wanted to do my organic rings, but I find that they're just a little bit too thin and it wasn't going to show enough pattern. So I just went with some of my favorite basic shapes, and also I went with some of my little floral vase shapes so that I could do the little, you know how I like a ditzy flower pot? That's what I call them. It's very cute. That shape there, I love that shape. It's actually from Metal Clay Studio, which I don't think you can buy from anymore. They have fantastic shapes, but I'm sure, look, like so many of you will have way more beautiful floral shape cutters than I do. I just didn't want to go out and spend hundreds of dollars for a monthly theme, which I would never expect anybody to do. I didn't want to, so I wanted to make do with what I had. So I wanted to bring out the floral more in the actual slab rather than the shapes. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. I hope you love this. I hope it inspires you. Remember, this is complementary colors, and I'm still going to do a resin version of the moonshine as well. But I just thought this would be a bit of fun. It's super retro. and floral goodness. So I hope you've had fun. I hope this has inspired you to create something within the theme this month. If you're on the other side of the world, there's nothing wrong with fall florals as well. Okay, bye.